AITA for not forgiving my gran when she accused me of fraud. I graduated university in 2022. I moved away for university, so had to look at where I would stay after whilst I found a place. My parents are separated, and both houses are full. But my gran had called a few times offering her place to stay. Background on my gran: she's a little bit crazy rich. Crazy mind, and does crazy stuff. Never my first person to go to, since she will always hold things above you. Once borrowed £20 for bus money for school, and she hounded me for 3 days, until I paid it back. Early, and didn't go to school. She offered one of the rooms for me to stay, and it would be great. Since the train station isn't far to the city, so would be great for viewings and interviews. Moving out of university was an extremely stressful time. I had work up until the day before, and packing 3 years worth of stuff was a lot. When stressed I get tonsillitis, and on last day, I was so ill. I couldn't eat. I had 3 layers, and had the heating on even though it was above 30 degrees outside. When I got to my gran's, I let her know. I'll be like this for a few days, but I just need rest, and to pick some antibiotics. First couple of days were okay, though she kept on asking if I wanted to do anything, or go anywhere, but I hadn't eaten in days, and was so ill. End of day 2 she mentioned that she had some weird charges to her card, and had contacted police. Day 3 she came into the room, and asked me to pack my bags, because she couldn't take care of me. Though I only needed water and change of sick bucket because I slept all day. She dropped me off at my mom's, and I stayed on the sofa. Day 7 I was better but fragile, and not eating. I wanted to go back to my gran's for the connections to the station. We had a phone call where I asked if I can come, and she said yes. She mentioned the charges again, and said they happened online in a city about an hour and a half away from where I went to university. I didn't think anything of it. My mum dropped me off at hers and drove off. When I knocked she didn't answer. I could hear the dog, but no response. I tried calling and texting until she sent me a message saying she knows it was me who did the fraud on her card. Tried to reason that it's impossible, because I hadn't seen her in over 3 years, and the card would have expired in that time. And the city was very far away, and I'd never even been there. Nothing worked. I said that if my other grandma was alive she would never treat me like this. I stayed at a hotel, and the stress made me ill again. And I couldn't eat, so thankfully on day 11 I got a place and moved, a year later. Speaking with my dad, he said his mom can't believe I'm still not speaking to her, and that I should get over it, admitting that she made up the charges. She just did. She's old, and it has been over a year. Should I just move on from it, and keep her at arm's length, or am I right in holding this grudge? And what you guys think, and advise for OP's situation. What would you do if you're on her situation? Let me know on the comment section. Now let's go to the top 3 comments on community comment section. What's their opinion about this? From Mildy Annoyed Panda. So can I check I got this right? Not only she falsely accused you, she actually made the whole thing up too. From Judine. NTA, instead of just telling you she didn't want you to stay with her, she let you, and then made up false accusations about you stealing money from her, and used them as a way to kick you out of the house. Then just what? Wants to act like it's not a big deal. She accused you of fraud. It could have ruined your relationship with your family. What if they no longer wanted you around just in case you stole from them? All because she lied. Definitely NTA. You said she was crazy. I believe you. Continue to stay away from her. She's already shown that she isn't afraid to make up terrible lies about you. Who knows what she'll do next? From South Negotiating 26. There's a difference between protecting yourself and holding a grudge. Your grandmother has shown you that she's willing to blame you for things you didn't do, and renege on her promises. She admits as much. It doesn't seem impossible that she could do it again. NTA. And here's our next story. AITA for kicking out my sister-in-law after she lost my son while babysitting. For the past 3 months, my husband's sister has been staying with us until she got back on her feet. As part of her contribution to our household, she generously offered to babysit our kids, including our 3-year-old son with autism. and with both delayed speech and language without expecting any compensation. However, about 3 weeks ago while she was babysitting, our son managed to slip out of the front door without her awareness, wandering around for approximately half an hour before a concerned individual alerted the police, rather than immediately notifying my husband and I about the situation. She spent an hour searching the neighborhood before involving law enforcement. We only became aware of our son's disappearance after she had already found out that the police had picked him up and safely returned him home. There's uncertainty regarding whether she would have informed us if the police had not explicitly instructed her to do so. In the aftermath, I asked her to leave our home. My husband believes that my decision to kick her out was overly severe, labeling it as an honest mistake that could happen to anyone. He also emphasizes her lack of alternative living arrangements, arguing that it was unjust to leave her with nowhere else to go. She put my son's safety at risk and broke my trust. And I can't get over that, but I can't shake what my husband said. Now I feel terrible about putting her on the street. AITA, and what you guys think and advise for OP's situation. What would you do if you're on her situation? Let me know on the comments section. Now let's go to the top 3 comments on community comments section. What's their opinion about this? From Dart1 to 6NTA. An honest mistake. Initially, yes, kids can be slippery little devils. The big mistake was not calling you, spinning her wheels searching for an hour. Then hearing the police thankfully had him, and when she going to call you? Has she even apologized? Doesn't sound like it. She's staying with you to get back on her feet. So, she's an adult. This isn't some 19-year-old being an idiot. She should have known better. And since she doesn't know, she cannot be relied upon and deserves banishment. Next is from Weekly Lie 9099 NTA. Drowning is the #1 cause of death for autistic children. Your son eloped. Her first call should have been to you to find out if there was any place he was known to go, so she could check there first while she was waiting for you and the police. And last one important underscore, vast underscore for 6'9" to your son could have died. Also, many states make parents who lose their children take parenting classes and have strikes against that can cause them to lose their children. This is a serious issue and she should not be trusted with your child. Edit. Op NTA. I would 1000% kick her out, hard times or not. Your son could have been seriously injured or worse. Your husband is not taking it seriously enough.